Now then, family land, welcome back to another video on Jazza TV. Today we're going to talk about what it's like during the tough times in boxing, because a lot of young fighters are going through a tough time in boxing right now and they don't even know how to handle it. Boxing can be a short, compressed version of life, and that's how I see it. Boxing is my life, but I've been in boxing for 20 years and I have to sometimes find new ways to cope with new things. New experiences come up all the time, and one that I've been going through lately, which I'm happy to share with people, is sitting in the unknown in boxing. It's hard because, well, it's very hard because people don't understand what to do in the unknown. So when you're fighting, you've got a fight day coming up, you've got structure, you've got a really good sense of path, direction that you're going to take in the next few weeks. And a lot of fighters don't even have to think about it themselves. They can just listen to the coach, and the coach says, this is what you're going to eat, here's the nutrition's plan, here's the strength and condition coach's plan, here's my plan, and this is what you're going to do. You're going to be there and then there at these times. It's very military, so it's not that hard for fighters to adhere to the routine that coach is giving them. But on the opposite side of that coin is being out of camp without routine, and that's where fighters can struggle a lot, and a lot of fighters don't know how to handle that. For me, as a youngster, it was tough, really tough, and now I use boxing as an outlet for me, for my tough times, or my feelings, negative feelings, positive feelings, any feeling I had, I used boxing and boxing training to combat these feelings and give me an outlet. So I'm lucky there, but not everyone's got that same thing. A lot of fighters I know, they end up going on the ale after a fight, and they're on the ale when they turn. As an amateur, you can go on the ale for 2 weeks, and it's like, wow, I need to get back in the gym. Because you're an amateur, you'll be back in the gym. You're doing the same time. You're going out the weekend, you're back in the gym, but you've got to fight in 5 weeks, so you got away with it. But as a professional, I know a lot of professionals who go on the ale and go on a bit other stuff that's a bit more sinister than the ale, and they're out for 4 weeks, and they say, I'll get back in the gym on Monday, and then the mates text them, they haven't caught up with this fella, now it's the weekend, the races are on, I go to the races. So and events after events after events, these events are so appealing to fighters in between camps because they've got nothing else to do, and they're catching up on the social lives that they missed out on during boxing camps. So I know a lot of fighters, they go through this all the time, and they be out of camp for 4 or 5, 6 weeks. And how long does it take to pick up an habit? Do you know what I mean? Not that long. Good habits, bad habits, whatever that may be. If you're drinking every day for 5 or 6 weeks, you're on the way to becoming an alcoholic. If you're snorting coke for 5 or 6 weeks, you're on the way to becoming a cokehead. If you, whatever that may be, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not judging people here by them. They are derogatory terms I'm using, but I'm only just keeping it real, because that's the reality of what's going on. And it's hard to manage your emotions out of camp because you've got no structure. And when you're out of camp, you feel like nobody cares because nobody's there to give you advice and nobody's there to bring you through. But oftentimes, you've got someone else in the gym, you've got teammates in a good gym, you've got good teammates who are also fighting. So now it's their turn to go and win and go and be the champ in the gym, and it's their time to go and perform and to win, hopefully. Because it does bring the gym down massively on morale when one of your teammates loses, but when one of them wins, it lifts the old gym, and the old gym becomes competitive, and one of them has to outdo the next one, and they all strive for success. And sometimes you get gyms where, like, you see that bad egg in the gym, and he's not happy for anyone but himself, and it's hard being around him. I've been around them fighters, I don't say nothing, never have, but you know deep down, he's that guy, if he loses, he wouldn't mind you losing as well. And they're bad people. They're not the best teammates to be around. I would say don't get close to them people, because it's all about them. So anyway, rant, tangents, let's get back to the topic. What even was the topic? So yeah, so you're looking for guidance out of camp, and it's not going to be there because life moves on and there's other people, you're not the only one in the world. I know it's hard for some fighters to accept that, but you're not the only person in the world, and I get it. It can be like that in any sport, and sportsmen are very success driven, and when success is not there, it's hard to handle it, and you find devices. What I'm going on about here, you have to sit in the tough times, you have to find things to do with your pain. Now, negative things can be drinking, staying up late, going out partying, going with birds who've just like, if they're not going with you, they're gonna go with some other fella anyway. Stay away from them birds, you know what I mean? They're not gonna benefit your life. Find yourself a good girl, good routine around a good girl. That'll be perfect for you as a fighter, because you also get to develop a structure. You shouldn't have to be a head pecker, by the way. Don't get a fucking head pecker, one of them birds who's it's all about them. You need a good woman who'll support you. If you end up having kids, she's got to be there for the kids. She's got to be the champ at home, you know what I mean? You have to get a bird like that. Don't get one of them mad birds who are making it all about them. That'll be bad for a fighter. That can be even worse than being lonely. Other things like drugs. Stay away from the drugs. Drugs aren't going to benefit you. I understand you go out to a party, you go to a festival or a weekend. Everyone does it, but you're not everyone. You've chosen this path. If that was the way of life, everyone does it because everyone does it. Everyone would be in the gym with you on a Monday morning, grafting your ass off. So stay away from the drugs, stay away from the party scene, and find something to make you content, something to make you happy, something that gives back to you, not something that takes away from you, like drinking and all that other bollocks. Staying up late, eating bad food, it's not going to benefit you. Get a good night's sleep, it'll benefit you in the gym. And I understand how hard it is when you've got no routine and you're out of camp and there's something late on at fucking 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, or before you know it, you're watching the series, you're up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's no good for a fighter. And it's easy, one thing saying it, one thing doing it, but just being mindful of it will help you getting through these tough times. Surround yourself with good people, honest people. People aren't getting into no bother. You don't need them mates. I understand some people grow up with people and they are mates and you've always been around them, and that's why they're your mates, but only because you've been around them all your life. If you was to meet them today and you told them you were a professional boxer, would your lifestyles fit? Sometimes in life, boxing's hard and you're gonna have to take yourself away from some people, certain people that don't benefit you any longer, and that's a tough one, you know what I mean? Because it could be family members, it could be loved ones, and because they don't benefit you anymore, you have to be selfish, you know what I mean? Selfish is one of the hardest things about boxing, being so selfish. Some people love being selfish, don't they? Because it's all about them. But when you are a decent fella and you want to make a change, you want to inspire people, being selfish can be really hard, but you just have to do it. You'll have to get on with it, and it's something that you can't bow down to. You'll have to just make that decision to be the most selfish fighter in the world, because if you're not, the next fighter will be, and he's the one who get the advantage of you. So yeah, all these little things. This is just my advice on fighters who are going through hard times, sitting in that pain. Your anger is your anger. You don't have to use other people, promoters, managers. You don't have to blame other people for your mistakes. If you lose a fight, it's no coach's fault. So just bear in mind, tough times, they come and they go, but the good times will be back soon. And that helps me get through the tough times and stay focused, because I know I'll be back on top soon. And when I get back on top, I'll just enjoy the shit out of it, and I'll make the most of it, and I'll soak every bit of goodness out of it. And then I have to go back down through the valleys again and go through the tough time. That's how I see it, but you soon you'll be back on the mountaintop. So that's my advice to young fighters coming through, or any fighters coming through who are sitting in that pain. They don't know how to get through it, they don't know how to handle the tough times of boxing, being out of camp, pressures of life, pressures of friends and family, and pressures of just life in general. So yeah, stick with it, keep doing what you've got to do, and make sure that you can be a good example to others who are coming through. And I hope this video reached someone who needed it. If it did, very, very good. Got a lot of positive comments on the good feedback on the YouTube these last few weeks. So if anyone has any topics to talk about, certain fights and stuff like that, the fighting stories went down well. So I've had 96 fights, and every one of them carries a story. I've had a lot of camps that didn't even happen, fights didn't even happen. So if anyone's got a certain fight they want me to talk about, there could be some good stories in that fight, in that camp, let me know, leave a comment. I hope you have a lovely day.